Most people believe heart attacks happen because of what you eat at dinner: too much salt, too much butter, too many cheeseburgers at midnight. And yes, those things matter. But here's what most people don't realize. One of the most dangerous moments for your heart happens in the first few minutes after you wake up. Not at lunch, not during stress at work, not while shoveling snow, right after you open your eyes. I'm Dr. Amelia Carter, and today we're talking about the 30-second morning mistake that cardiologists quietly worry about all the time, especially in adults over 60. And before you think, oh, this doesn't apply to me, stay with me. Because this tiny habit, something millions of people do every single morning without thinking, can sharply increase blood pressure, strain the heart, and in vulnerable people, trigger a heart attack or stroke. And the frightening part? Most people never feel warning signs beforehand. I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens inside the body in the morning, why the heart is especially vulnerable during those first minutes after waking up, the hidden habits that increase your risk, and the simple morning routine cardiologists wish more seniors followed. And trust me, some of these will surprise you. There are actually 7 morning habits that can raise heart attack risk. And that first one? It happens in less than 30 seconds. I almost brought a stopwatch in here. I'm a doctor, not a game show host, but still. Now, before we dive in, comment below and tell me, what's the very first thing you do after waking up? Do you jump out of bed, check your phone, head straight to the coffee maker? I read these comments all the time, and honestly, some of them make me laugh because we humans are creatures of habit. And if you know someone over 60, a spouse, parent, sibling, neighbor, share this video with them. This information genuinely could help someone avoid a medical emergency. Now let's talk about the mistake. The most dangerous morning habit for your heart is this: jumping out of bed too quickly. That's it. Simple, ordinary, easy to ignore. And yet this is the exact moment many heart attacks, strokes, falls, and dangerous rhythm problems occur. Here's why. When you sleep, your body changes dramatically. Your blood pressure drops, your heart rate slows, your circulation shifts, your body becomes slightly dehydrated overnight because you've gone hours without fluids. Think of your cardiovascular system like a garden hose left outside overnight. In the morning, the pressure inside that hose changes suddenly when the water gets turned back on. Now imagine someone yanking that hose at full force all at once. That sudden pressure surge is what can happen inside your body when you leap out of bed immediately. Your blood vessels constrict rapidly. Stress hormones spike. Blood pressure jumps. The heart suddenly demands more oxygen. And if your arteries are narrowed, even slightly, when that sudden strain can become dangerous. This is the part nobody talks about. Heart attacks are not evenly distributed throughout the day. Cardiologists have known for years that heart attacks happen more often in the morning hours, especially between about 6 a.m. and noon. Why? Because the body is undergoing a massive physiological transition. Cortisol rises, adrenaline rises, blood becomes slightly stickier, blood pressure climbs rapidly. For a healthy 25-year-old, the body usually handles this fine. But for someone 65, 72, 81, especially with high blood pressure, diabetes, clogged arteries, or atrial fibrillation, that morning surge can become the perfect storm. And I'll never forget one patient who taught this lesson better than any textbook. His name was Walter. He was 74 years old, retired electrician, sharp as a tack, still fixing everybody's appliances in the neighborhood. He came into my office after what he thought was just dizziness. Walter told me every morning he would wake up and launch himself out of bed the second the alarm rang. Boom, straight upright, marching toward the bathroom like he was late for military inspection. One morning he stood up fast, became dizzy, sweaty, and had a crushing pressure in his chest. Now here's the important part. Walter almost ignored it. He thought maybe he stood up too fast, maybe low blood sugar, maybe indigestion, classic patient behavior, by the way. Human beings are world champions at explaining away symptoms. But his wife noticed he looked pale gray. She called 911. Turns out Walter had a partially blocked coronary artery, and the sudden blood pressure surge after jumping out of bed likely triggered the event. The cardiologist later told him something fascinating. You probably avoided major heart damage because your wife acted quickly. Walter survived, did well, started changing his routine completely. And what amazed him most was how tiny the trigger seemed. He kept saying, "Dr. Carter, are you telling me standing up too fast almost killed me?" Not by itself, but in a vulnerable heart, small triggers matter. That's the lesson. Now let's go deeper because there are several hidden morning habits that quietly increase cardiovascular strain. Morning mistake number 2, holding your breath while getting out of bed. You may not even realize you're doing it. A lot of people tense their muscles, hold their breath, then push themselves upright all at once. That's called a Valsalva maneuver. Sounds fancy. Basically means straining while holding your breath. People do this while lifting heavy objects, pushing during constipation, or even sitting up in bed. And here's why it matters. When you hold your breath and strain, pressure inside your chest changes suddenly. That temporarily affects blood flow returning to the heart. Then when you release the breath, blood pressure can surge dramatically. Think of squeezing a garden hose closed and suddenly releasing it. That pressure swing can trigger dizziness, palpitations, or in high-risk individuals, dangerous heart stress. So here's my recommendation. When you wake up, roll slowly to your side. Sit on the edge of the bed for 15 to 30 seconds. Take 2 slow breaths, then stand gradually. Simple, free, potentially life-saving. And I know somebody watching right now is thinking, "Doc, this sounds overly cautious." I understand. But after decades of cardiology and internal medicine, I can tell you this. The body after 60 likes gradual transitions, not violent ones. Now, mistake number 3 may upset some coffee lovers. Drinking strong coffee immediately on an empty stomach before water. Now, let me be clear. I am not anti-coffee. Frankly, without coffee, half the medical profession would collapse by Wednesday, but timing matters. Overnight, your body becomes mildly dehydrated, blood volume decreases slightly, blood pressure regulation becomes more sensitive. Then many people wake up and immediately pour in caffeine before a single sip of water. Caffeine stimulates adrenaline. It can temporarily raise blood pressure and heart rate. It can also trigger palpitations in sensitive individuals. Again, for many healthy people, this is fine. But if you already have high blood pressure, arrhythmias, coronary artery disease, or anxiety-related palpitations, that immediate caffeine hit may not be ideal. One patient, Maria, age 69, came to me terrified because every morning her heart fluttered. She thought she had a deadly rhythm problem. Turns out she woke up dehydrated, drank 2 giant mugs of strong coffee immediately, and barely consumed water all day. Once we changed her morning routine, water first, smaller coffee, protein breakfast, her palpitations improved dramatically within weeks. The lesson? Hydration matters more than most people realize. Your blood is literally easier for the heart to pump when you're properly hydrated. Think of thick syrup versus smooth flowing water. That difference affects circulation. So here's what I recommend. Before coffee, drink 1 full glass of water. Not gallons, not some internet detox nonsense, just water, especially if you take blood pressure medications or diuretics. Now, mistake number 4, checking stressful news or your phone immediately after waking up. I know. Half of you are clutching your phones right now, but listen carefully. The brain and heart are deeply connected. When you immediately flood your brain with stress, alarming headlines, angry messages, financial worries, your nervous system activates instantly. Adrenaline rises, blood pressure rises, heart rate increases. This is especially problematic in the morning because cortisol levels are already naturally elevated after waking. So now you're stacking stress hormones on top of stress hormones. I had a patient named Dennis, 71 years old, whose blood pressure was mysteriously highest every morning. We adjusted medications, changed sodium intake, reviewed exercise. Nothing explained it. Then I asked him one question. "What's the first thing you do every morning?" He said, "I watch financial news." Immediately, for an hour, while yelling at the television. Honestly, I appreciated the honesty. We changed his routine completely. No news for the first 30 minutes, gentle music, water, walking outside. His morning blood pressure improved significantly. This doesn't mean you ignore the world. It means your cardiovascular system deserves a softer landing into the day. Now, this next part is critical. Morning mistake number 5. Skipping breakfast completely after taking medications. Now, not everybody needs a giant breakfast, but many older adults take medications in the morning that can interact poorly with an empty stomach or dehydration. Blood pressure medications, diabetes medications, diuretics, and here's what happens. Some people wake up, take pills, drink coffee, skip food, then suddenly feel shaky, weak, dizzy, or lightheaded. The body is struggling to stabilize blood pressure and blood sugar simultaneously, especially in seniors. Your metabolism after 70 is not the same as it was at 35. I wish more people understood that aging changes resilience, not worth. That's important. The solution is not complicated. A balanced breakfast with protein, hydration, and fiber can stabilize energy and cardiovascular function. Eggs, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, fruit, nuts. Nothing fancy. And please don't fall for miracle powders sold by shirtless men yelling online. If someone's screaming at you while holding a blender bottle, proceed cautiously. Now let's talk about mistake number 6 because this one surprises people. Straining during morning bowel movements. Nobody likes discussing this topic. As a doctor, I can assure you we discuss it constantly. Constipation is extremely common in older adults, and excessive straining can sharply increase pressure in the chest and cardiovascular system. In fact, cardiac events during bowel movements are well documented medically. That's why hydration, fiber, movement, and avoiding chronic constipation matter so much. Think of your heart like an engine already working hard. Now imagine someone suddenly forcing that engine uphill. That's what straining does. So if constipation is frequent, don't ignore it. Increase fluids, eat fiber, walk daily. Discuss medications with your physician because many prescriptions worsen constipation. And please, if you ever experience chest pain, severe shortness of breath, or fainting during straining, seek medical attention immediately. Now, mistake number 7. Ignoring warning signs because you assume it's just aging. This may be the most dangerous one of all, because older adults are incredibly tough, sometimes too tough. You ignore symptoms, you minimize them, you push through. And many heart attack symptoms in seniors are subtle, not dramatic movie-style chest clutching. Sometimes it's fatigue, sweating, jaw pain, nausea, shortness of breath, dizziness, pressure in the upper back, sudden weakness, especially in women. I had a patient named Eleanor, 78 years old, who thought she had the flu. No chest pain, just exhaustion and nausea. Her daughter insisted she go to the emergency room. She was having a heart attack. That's why I always tell patients, new symptoms deserve attention, not panic. Attention. Now, let me show you the morning heart protection routine I recommend for many adults over 60. This is simple, low cost, realistic. And after 3 to 4 weeks, many patients notice lower blood pressure readings, better energy, fewer dizzy spells, and improved morning stability. Step 1. Wake up slowly. Don't launch yourself upright. Wiggle your feet, move your ankles, take slow breaths. Step 2. Sit on the edge of the bed for about 20 to 30 seconds. This allows blood pressure to adjust gradually, especially important if you've ever felt dizzy standing up. Step 3. Drink a glass of water before caffeine. Again, not extreme hydration, just enough to help circulation. Step 4. Take 5 minutes of gentle movement, shoulder rolls, ankle circles, easy walking, stretching, nothing aggressive. Your cardiovascular system likes gradual activation. Think of warming up a car engine before driving hard in freezing weather. Step 5. Avoid stressful input immediately. No doom scrolling, no arguments online, no furious political debates before your heart even knows what day it is. Protect your nervous system. Step 6. Eat a balanced breakfast if medically appropriate for you, especially if you take medications that affect blood pressure or blood sugar. Step 7. Get natural light early. Morning sunlight helps regulate circadian rhythms, blood pressure patterns, mood, sleep quality, and energy. Even 5 to 10 minutes outside helps. Now, I don't want to scare you, but I do want you to know the red flags that require immediate medical attention. Call emergency services immediately if you experience chest pressure, squeezing, or heaviness, sudden shortness of breath, pain spreading into the jaw, arm, neck, or back, sudden sweating with nausea, fainting, severe dizziness, a racing or irregular heartbeat that won't stop, one-sided weakness or trouble speaking. And here's something important. Do not drive yourself during a suspected heart attack. I've had patients try to tough it out while driving. Please don't. Minutes matter. Now, before we finish, I want to tell you something hopeful. The heart is remarkably responsive to small, consistent habits. That's what I've seen over decades. Tiny improvements matter. Better sleep, gentle exercise, hydration, blood pressure control, stress reduction, walking daily, taking medications correctly, not smoking. These things truly change outcomes. People sometimes think heart protection requires perfection. It doesn't. It requires consistency. I've seen patients in their 70s dramatically improve blood pressure, stamina, and quality of life simply by changing daily routines. The body wants to heal when we help it. And if there's one takeaway from today, it's this. Don't shock your heart awake. Ease into the morning. Give your cardiovascular system a calm transition instead of a sudden emergency alarm. Your heart has been working for you every second of your life. Treat it gently in those first moments of the day. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone you care about. And comment below. What's the very first thing you do each morning? I'm genuinely curious. Also subscribe for more videos like this because every week we talk about practical senior health topics that doctors wish more people understood earlier. I'm Dr. Amelia Carter. Take care of yourself, protect that heart, and I'll see you in the next video.